And, they just allowed, or rather, side of Elite Eight really just allowed trophies on that scarf to just spit fire all day long from the back line. So even if they do, rather, Celsior do allow Scarf to get through, at least prioritize on a dive comp that can get into that Scarf as soon as the fight starts.
Yes, and with that, we will have to see how these two teams decide to draft it, because the draft is ready. So without further ado, let's go into the draft.
The draft begins.
Coming into this draft, I would expect, like you said, there might be a target ban on that of trophies on that scar. So that is something that I'll be looking out for. But as a pattern we've seen coming up from Eanix as well, is that Lyra that has been prioritized. We do see a Samuel being banned out as a first phase from the side of Eanix. The side of Celsior, they might just remove that Grace, but problem with removing that Grace is that you give the next most powerful healer on the fold over to the side of Team Eanix, and we've seen that Lyra just play a big part and big role in just keeping Eanix alive in that of the early game. Oh, we do see a Baron being banned out. I mean, Baron is a current threat in the meta at this point in time.
Yeah, and with both of those really strong healers, I guess you could call Grace a healer with that ultimate, the Divine Intervention being on the fold. I wouldn't be surprised if we see both of them in this matchup. It's going to be the Lyra for the side of Eanix at this point. Do you think they will respond with that Grace, however?
Well, I think the next most intelligent choice would be picking up that Grace, but they are going to settle for that Vox. They can go for that Grace in their second phase of second phase of picks. They do ban out the Idris, however, so we might see a Scarf and, probably a lance on I Agree You Die, a weapon lance. If not, then probably a Cruel as well that we saw yesterday. But Scarf is really the priority at this point in time. And the side of trophies, they place the Scarves in lane. That is one thing that we must know. And Scarf's clear is just so much better as compared to that of Box. We do see a Glaive being banned out for the side of Eanix. Going into this game, I really think they are just going to settle for that Lyra Scarf and then probable Cruel, if not, then Lance combination.
You really think we might see a Cruel again? I feel like it was just to pull out yesterday and kind of throw people off guard. It did work out very well, however, for them. I'm just not sure whether it would be advisable in this situation, especially if you're going to be going up against that Catherine.
Well, but then again, but Cruel does really, really well in the current meta, especially with his build being very cheap. So you can build your early tension bow, tank up, and then have your poison shift, and then you can be in the front line just putting out so much damage and weakness stack as well. But there is one thing, of course, Cruel can be kited by that of say Vox, and if the side of Celsior do respond with a Sky, then Cruel might have a hard time. However, we do see a Cruel being picked up into a Sky yesterday, and that Cruel did astonishingly well. So I'm not surprised if the side of Eanix would go for that Cruel once again. If not, then probably that Lance. Oh, they are going to go for that Cruel.
Oh my, and you were right on that Cruel pick there. So we'll have to see how it works out in this first match. And you were talking about a possible Sky being a good choice for counter in this kind of situation. However, we did see the Cruel, as you said, play astonishingly well into that Sky. So I'm a bit split here whether they will go for Sky. They do have that Kestrel pick open as well if they want to be able to try get onto the back line and focus down that Scarf by just being invisible. But it's going to be that Sky nevertheless. And with that, the drafts are finalized for the teams here, with Eanix being on your blue side with a Lyra, Scarf, and Cruel going up against Celsior, who have picked up the Vox, Catherine, and Sky. So where's your money at, Luxura?
Honestly, after seeing how Eanix play yesterday going up against the 8, I must say, I really like the side of Eanix at this point in time, especially on how comfortable they are on this current team comp with that Lara, Scarf, and Crew, with Crew being able to be in the front line, just soaking up as much damage as possible. Then, of course, leaving Trophies in the back line to just slowly wear down and burn the side of Celsior down. But then again, it is just down to how Celsior can respond in that of the early game, whether or not Sky can push her early game advantage over Cruel and just constantly invade, starving Cruel out. If Sky can and does manage to do that, then I guess the side of Celsior would have an easier time going into the mid game. But at the end of the day, we do know that Scarf just scales so much better as compared to a Vox in that of late game because of how cheap Vox's items are. He does very well in the mid game. But Scarves, because his items are really expensive, he needs to take a lot of time to just farm up and build up all of his items before he can put out any real damage. And if he does and gets to that point, then I don't think the side of Celsior would have any easy time. Of course, I really like the Catherine pickup on the side of Celsior just because of the CCs that's coming out. And it's just down to whether or not the side of Eanix can respond to those CCs.
Yes, and you were talking about response by both teams, so it really is going to be a bit of that. And in terms of when we look at CC that you were talking about, of course, the solid CC on that Catherine there being the Merciless Pursuit, and then you could kind of count out the double silence coming out from them with Blast Tremor and Wait for It on box. I think that in terms of CC, there's a lot to be provided by both teams in very different ways. So they're both very well-balanced teams in this situation, and I'm kind of a bit too, I guess, not able to call it right now, as we haven't seen how these teams are going to play up against each other. So I'm just going to have to go with instinct on this one and say it's going to be the team of Celsior.
Just because of the Sky. Don't tell me about your instinct. And anyways, we do see two trophies, or rather trophies and Truffless playing. Just a quick note, trophies will be that carry, and of course Truffless will be on the roam role. Just for the casters, just for you guys to know and take note of. You guys will have fun time casting this match because of the duplicate names. Anyways, coming to this match, you say you will go for Celsior, and I mean it makes so much sense. I mean, there is a Sky, there is a Catherine.
Makes so much sense, obviously.
Yeah, with that Sky pickup, and of course with that Catherine as well, they just do so well into Cruel in that early game. But we saw IQ die on that Cruel, and he's very strategic in his movement if he knows that he's at a disadvantage. So maybe we'll see, maybe you will be right. In the early game, the side of Celsior might win over this match. But in the late game, I assure you, once trophies get all the items up, once IQ die tanks up, they can probably roll through that late game rather easily. Anyways, we are jumping into the foes at this point in time, and of course, casting alongside, I request a duo. We will have Asarai. Take it away.
And take it away, I will indeed. So it's gonna be a pretty interesting match.
Well, Asarai, I do have to ask you your own opinion, as always, from the draft. Which team are you looking for the win?
For me, it just seems like Eanix has a much more balanced out comp here. Again, you have that front line, you have the backline damage, and then you have someone in the middle to deal the heals so that your teammates don't falter at all. But I do like that immediate Vox pick, just so that he can get that early poison shiv and start countering out the healing that's going to be coming out from the Lyra. But back to your question, I'm going to be going with Eanix for this one.
Well, you do have a valid point there in terms of balance, but I believe this Vox will be able to jump around in the front line alongside of that Catherine for the most part. I think they have a fairly strong engage there, and as I talked about the CC before, there's the solid CC that comes out, or I should say hard CC, with highest having the Merciless Pursuit, and then they're going to be able to, if they're able to chain those silences, will be really good. And when it comes to Sky having the death from above, it is sometimes more utilized as a zoning mechanic rather than just actually being able to get the stun off on it a lot of the time. So we could see that helping them out in fights, splitting the fight up and maybe putting them at a man advantage. However, you did talk about the balance coming out from Eanix, and I think you're quite right there. As long as Truffes is able to sit safely in the back line on that Scarf, then they should be fine. Meanwhile, Truffles, you can see right now with that Imperial Sigil just able to heal up and keep the sustain for the team. There really is a lot of sustain coming out from the side of Eanix as
but
well.
hold that thought. Truffles is gonna get caught out here, but Truffes will get the re-kill, making it the 1-for-1 trade, but the first blood will be taken by the Sky of Celsior. Guess that's why Luceria said that we're gonna have a fun time casting this game. I'm already feeling it now.
Yes, I've casted this team too many times before, and I've made the mistake too many times before being like, production, which one is it again? But by now I do know that is Truffes in the lane on Scarf and Truffles as the roamer on that Lyra. So yeah, with that bit of a trade out there at the start, obviously Sky walking back into that group. Whether Sky had walked forwards, I wonder if they would have been able to make it out there or still would have been taken down from an auto attack. But really it's too early to tell anything from this so far. I mean, both laners neither have an advantage here, but if anything, Cruel has got a bit of advantage, taking that second mid camp with the help of Truffles, and is now going to jump onto Devil.
Now here we go. It's going to be a little bit of aggression. Destiny Star's actually there, but like you said, in the jungle, we're going to be seeing Devil get caught out. Nice invade here from Eanix, but it looks like Celsior will look for the revenge highest. Gonna try to spot them out. This is a 2v1 situation. Does he have any support with him? I say that's going to be a no, but he goes a little bit aggressive here as Sky will be joining into the fight momentarily. Here comes Truffles trying to run away, but I don't think they have enough damage or sticking potential that this will not result into a kill. But I may be wrong. There's the forward barrage, but nothing will transpire.
Yeah, and it looks like not too much going on in this early game other than what we did note before of Cruel being a bit aggressive by the help of Lyra, you know, able to go into that front line, and it just shows how transition into the late game there. But Truffles might be caught out here. They're going to be tanky enough, however, to be able to sustain through that, and the rest of Eanix are going to close in here on Celsior.
There's the goop for the slow, actually also activates the Spitfire for the extra damage. Celsior have to back away here. So they're really looking to be as aggressive as possible. Like you said, they don't want the Cruel to start stacking up the items, get that free farm, and you know, come the clashes. Be that Cruel we've seen yesterday. Also, I think that was from Eanix. They just throws it down, you know, from Hell's Heart, and then just slams you with all of his damage up close and up personal.
Travelers, I am so confused about what our analyst is trying to tell us there.
It's spelled TRU. So is it like the chocolate truffles? I could be wrong, but while we are still confirming on how to really pronounce their names, it looks like Truffes will get caught out by a smidgen. Imperial Sigil from Truffles, rather from the Lyra, will keep him sustained for the meantime. Just a little bit of harassment, but not to worry. Again, that Lyra will provide a lot of support for the Eanix side.
Okay, that is it. And if memory serves me right, is Truffless is how we're supposed to be pronouncing the Roma. And I think we can continue calling Scarf Truffes, if I'm not mistaken. But also looking at Highest, it looks like Highest might be having some connection issues. Have you been noticing that as well? Maybe Highest being a bit immobile at a few points in time?
Could be. I didn't actually see him because it was always Destiny Stars and Devil to show themselves up in the lane. Maybe that's the reason, but now he's back.
Wow, that turnaround by Devil there in the jungle. Cruel actually trying to go in for, I guess, some farm steal and a jump onto Devil, but with the help of that Crystal Sentry and Sky's being able to utilize the mobility, able
Yeah.
to make their way around and pick up that kill. And this is the thing that Luxura pointed out in the draft phase. That Sky is able to utilize that mobility in such a way and not get caught out. I think it'll be a bit harder once we see From House Heart being used in those engagements, whereas they're both now level 6. So maybe Sky will have a harder time later on and should focus on a reflex block fairly soon. But other than that, I think that, you know, it's why I initially put my faith in Sky, and I love seeing great Sky being played. As much as Luxura says, look, I don't need your, I guess, faith in a team.
Wait, a fight will break out in the lane here. For the meantime, Iangry Dai already using his From Hell's Heart. Did not see where it actually connected, but it will not transition into a kill here against Celsior. They know that Iangry Dai is right there into the sidelines, but they might die a bit more than they can chew, as Trophies with this scarf will deal a good amount of siege or artillery damage. But man, the barrages from Devil really showing it off his stride. They will be backing off, but not without the consolation prize. 1 kill plus a couple of the jungle camps here in the side of Eanix's base.
Well, you can see how the team comp of Celsior really did work out in that situation. As soon as Crow tried jumping onto one of them, Devil was there with the death from above, and I believe Highest able to land the Merciless Pursuit to shut down this crew. As long as they don't let Crew get ahead, and it's what you mentioned before, that Celsior just need to be really careful about that, then they should be fine. Of course, there's also the backline threat of Trophies on this Scarf to worry about, and into the late game, that's just going to be more of a problem. So it'd be good if they're able to land some successful ganks up into lane as well and put some pressure down there.
Yeah.
Maybe even take the first turret away from Eanix.
When does a Scarf become an even bigger threat than he already is? He already has the Frostburn. What more itemizations can he work towards to at least ensure that it's not only Iangry Dai that is the guy that they have to look forward to initiate, but then at least for the follow-up, there's going to be Trophies with the Goop, with the Spitfire. What do you think here? Request a duel.
Trophies is more than likely to follow this up with Broken Myth coming up next, and that just helps because all the poke you get throughout the start of a fight, and then you can follow it up with just throughout the fight, but you're going to get stacks on that, and then you can follow up with the Dragon's Breath and just turn around and be able to put massive damage down. That's really the way you want to be playing Scarf Sing on the backline, and then towards the end of a fight, you want to be able to turn it around using that Dragon's Breath, because it's such a strong ability, has such a wide area of effect when using it, that I think with this Lyra as well, who's going to be able to support you through healing, that's when Trophies is going to be a bit more scary once they finish off that third CP item.
Yeah, that's true. We'll just have to see. Also, question. Dragon's Breath is channeling, right? So one Blast Tremor can stop it, or am I wrong?
Ooh, I'm not sure about that one. I think if it's already been channeled, then it won't stop the actual cast, but a stun would be able to, which we know this Catherine is capable of doing anyway. So ooh, look at this. Devil getting caught
Devil
out.
though, he will be put down almost to the ground, very low on HP. Truffles will be using his Crucible for the meantime here, just for the safety. Iangry Dai charges in, and Devil gets caught off guard. I think he did use From Hell's Heart. That's what was able to disable Devil to get be killed by Iangry Dai. So they get themselves one shutdown, and Iangry Dai here immediately goes for the jungle right now with the flanks as well. Does he know where Highest is? Yes, he does. There's the Deadman's Rush. He's going for it aggressively, but Eanix cannot follow through. They don't have the damage just yet, and they're kind of spent or split here on where they want to go. Is it going to be the kills, or is it going to be the turret? And it looks like it's going to be one kill for one. It's going to be straight. Oh, Devil! He does have the Story Strike though, so he'll be able to back away.
Yeah, they really need to be cautious of this crew, who's always going to be at full health thanks to this Lyra. And you can just see there a great play by Sky being able to land a death from above and secure Scarf, who was a bit greedy in that situation, but Iangry Dai is going to dive in once again, and we'll see the mobility by Sky, able to get them a bit away, but I think with Cruel, his main target really will be onto this box because Sky is already always going to be a harder target unless you're able to land that real hard CC with the From House Hard.
Yeah, but he was able to for that time, so it kind of turned out good for Eanix, but they kind of overcommitted as well as they tried to dove under turret. So Celsior were able to capitalize, and now Celsior have broken even with the amount of overall net worth that they do have against Eanix. Trophy's doing quite a bit of good damage against Highs as well. It looks like it's going to be a 3-man stack in the lane, but Eanix will also answer. Good damage from that Goop Spitfire combo, the Goop Fire combo. Really starting it off strong from Hell's Heart onto the box. They're going to be following it up very aggressively here, but there's Death from above just for the zoning. For the meantime, Devil with the sidelines. There's going to be the passageway, and here you go. I Angry You Die goes a little bit. I Angry You Unleashed. Do for the slow onto highest. There it is, the Dragon's Breath. Boom! Shakalaka onto Destiny Stars, not Star Z. And, well, he will be going to heaven for the meantime, responding later on as it looks like Eanix will be trying to break down their first turret.
Yeah, great push by Eanix there and great fight overall. Of course, I Angry You Die falling for the side of Eanix, but it meant Trophies could stay on the backline and just be ignored for a lot of that fight and ramp up. They don't even have that broken myth yet, and you can see they're already able to put out a bunch of damage. And I think it's very reliant on the fact, of course, Destiny Stars has replied to it with the Aegis, but when you saw the damage going down onto Sky, Sky only sitting there with an O-Card, not really much they can do when they get slowed down in the Goop, and then the Spitfires land on them because they're going to get taken down instantly in this situation. And unlike the side of Eanix, they don't have that real sustain in that comp at the moment, so it will be tough. Of course, the Eve of Harvest is built up on Devil, and that's only going to help out so much when there's a lot of burst coming down. You can see Celsior, to the start of that fight, did play it very well and were able to, I guess, direct the initial engage of Cruel away from them, but it's as I said, now Scarf is starting to become this threat.
Oh, I agree, guy. He's to the sidelines. He goes in with the Devil's Heart. It was actually not blocked at all. And here you go. Dragon's Breath. One. Looking for the second. Highest trying to run away. Can they do it? Devil is using the Suri Strike for that mobility as well as the extra damage. But I Angry Dive with the sidelines. Gets stunned by the Merciless Pursuit of Highest here. But Eanix, they're still running rampant. There's the Suri Strike. Will Trophies get away? Yes, he does. Passageway micro maneuvering. There you go. That's gonna be Eanix. Here comes Highest. Still wants to go for the fight. Trophies with the fadeaway Spitfire just to push him back. There's Devil. Ooh, Trophies very low. The shield connecting from Truffles. And the Scout Trap. Almost taking down Trophies. There's gonna be the Spitfire. Will Destiny Stars able to capitalize? Sonic Zoom will say yes, and he is not yet done. Chasing down onto this Scarf. He will survive for the meantime, but Highest was spotted out by I Angry You Die. Now Destiny Stars, he bit off a bit more than he can chew. His overextending will be the price of his life, and there you have it. Wow, that was a very long fight.
Actually making it around. He didn't completely back off from that fight, but actually repositioned himself and went around the back of the team of Celsior there, and you can see luckily Devil not going up into that brush as well, or they might have been caught out in a similar situation as Devil and Has, both very low. And yeah, Destiny Stars maybe diving in a bit too deep and overcommitting there. Could have been able to get out earlier and not get caught out by Angry You Die, but was so focused on trying to get the kill onto Trophies, who's seeing 5-1 to 3 at the moment, and now finished off that broken myth, followed by a Clockwork as well. And I think this is the difference between the teams, and where Scarf is able to focus all on this offensive items without building a shred of defense, whereas for Sky needs to be a bit more careful and maybe should consider at least finishing off that O-Card into maybe I'd say a reflex block, because so far I haven't seen any really major shutdowns from Cruel with that, or engages I should say, from Cruel with that from House Hard. We did see one in the previous long extended fight that you just went over.
Yeah.
But I think that there's not really been any, it goes directly into a kill kind of moment.
Hang on though, Truffles very low in the HP. This Kraken is in the sights of Celsior. They gotta back away for the meantime. But Trophies, he is on that Scarf. He does have that artillery damage, so he can set up a pretty nasty Goop Spitfire combo once more. I Angry Die starts it off. There's the Bulwark for the save or for the zone. And from the back line, it's Trophies. Looks for the first. Can they go for the second? Can they go for a third? Looking for that ace. Can Devil do it? Will he be able to break even? That's gonna be a no. Ace taken by Eanix plus this Kraken. So, wow, that was very, very well executed by Eanix.
Yeah, and you can see now that the Eanix team comp is just working together so well, and as predicted by Luxura, he said that why are they going to be able to give this side of Eanix this scarf? Because they're going to be able to just make it work so well, and they picked up the Cruel again, which I was surprised in, but Eanix somehow just they really understand this team comp and they're able to make it work. I think because Cruel's so in your face and you can't just ignore him. He's going to build stacks on you if you do, and you kind of have to deal with him. But meanwhile, it's going to be Trophies in the backline and putting Spitfires in and building up those stacks and just really able to work towards getting that ultimate off and then pushing your whole team back.
So right now, Eanix has the mindset, okay, we already have the Kraken, we broke down that second turret, we can't let Celsior get this one without any turrets being faltered because, you know, 500 gold for each of our opponents is not going to be good. There's going to be the passageway usage with the Bulwark, they're going to go aggressive. Does he use the Hells from Hell's Heart? Not just yet, but they're going to be pushing in with the Kraken, breaking down onto the first crystal turret here. Oh, the damage! Gets the one. Devil with a 30-second cooldown. Destiny Stars will try to capitalize. He gets it 30 seconds onto I Angry You Die. But still, they gotta be careful. Trophies and Truffles is a deadly duo combination here as highest into the sidelines. There's gonna be the Goop, there's gonna be the Spitfire. The damage will connect, but not gonna be enough. The Kraken has faltered, but he has done the work. Destiny Stars here into the sidelines. Will Trophies survive? That's going to be a no. The damage from the Imperial Sigil not gonna be enough, and this could be an ace. Truffles trying to run away. Never mind. Double kill. Hero kill. That's going to be highest, and Destiny Stars ramping it up. Can they go for a counter push?
Yeah, they should be able to get at least one turret here with Cruel coming up in just a second. But they're going to go for that Crystal Sentry instead, just try to get some value out of that, which we know is so important to do with your kills and advantages. And this is really the first point in this match where we've seen Celsior actually winning out a proper team fight. And, ooh, is Cruel... He's up in that top rush there.
You know what's up?
He does.
It is what it is. Backdoor gaming, or will he go for just the flank maneuvering as he goes aggressive, as from Hell's Heart? There you go, boom, shakalaka, there it is. The Dragon's Breath once more. Trophies asserts dominance, goes in with the Goop as well. And I Angry Die, like you said it, my friend. It's gonna be all in your face, and in the blink of an eye, an ace taken by Eanix.
Yes, and it looks like with this, Eanix should be able to finish out the first round with 25 seconds left before Destiny Stars is even up on that box. Only one turret remaining. They're going to push those ace minions in and make their way to the enemy Vein Crystal with ease. Eanix playing that one amazingly, and with the team comp we saw them pull out tomorrow, tomorrow? The team comp we saw them pull out yesterday that got them to the semi-finals, playing it once again, and to great success. Well played, GG.
GG indeed. Wow, what do you think happened in that game?
Oh, it's just, I think Eanix played it so well, but someone who might have a bit more than that to say, a bit more insight, a bit more depth, is the man himself, Luxura.
Hello, I hope I'm not breaking up this time because I unmuted before you guys called me in. Anyways, that match, as predicted, although we do see a Sky being picked up, and we saw the strength of Sky in that of the early game, but once Scarf has got all of his items up, there was no way the side of Sky, or rather Devil on that Sky, can even just get close to that Scarf without first going through Angry You Die on that crew. And honestly, that is just so amazing. Coming out from the side of Eanix again, pulling out the same exact team comp like I requested Joel said, that got them into the semis in the first place. However, we must point out that Hayes as well on that Catherine provided so much in that of the early game, but it was just not enough at all, especially with trophies, or rather, sorry, especially with Travelers on that Lara, just healing trophies all the way up to full health when he gets got down, or when he gets poked down by Vox to like a 3/4 health or even half health.
Yeah, you could see a chance that Celsior were able to come back from that, as long as I think it's just great positioning by Angry Udai, being able to play that Cruel well into their team comp and opening up the I guess, kills and objectives for the side of Eanix. Overall, you saw him make his way into that top brush in that last situation, whereas if he hadn't, maybe Celsior would have backed away from that tower a bit earlier and not handed over the ace that led to the game ending, because Celsior was starting to come back there. If this game went on a bit longer, we still have very good late game heroes on the side of Celsior with that Sky and that Vox, and you can see Vox able to build up quite a lot of breaking point stacks in that previous fight in their own base, where they were able to get the turnaround onto Scarf. So in that situation, I think Celsior could have had it if the game went a bit longer, but Eanix played it well and very well done to shut it out when they did. So no surprise there that throughout the game that Eanix were able to win that.
Then again, the problem really was that Trophies just stayed a little too long, got a little too overconfident and complacent. Anyways, draft is ready. So without further ado, let's just hop straight into draft.
Yes.
Right, so coming into this draft, do you think the side of Celsior would prioritize on that Cruel being banned out as first ban? Because we did see Angry Udai on that Cruel, whether or not it was yesterday or even today. He played so well on it, especially when he can be in the front line, just being that distraction, whilst Trophies can just be in the back line, just putting out Spitfire and a lot of artillery damage quoting from Aserai.
Well, with yesterday's matchups, we did see Eanix take advantage of the fact they were allowed to play the same team comp, and I mean, why change what isn't broken? You don't need to fix it because it just works so well, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see Eanix try go for the Scarf pickup, and if they're not able to get a Cruel, but I'm pretty sure it won't be a focus ban, I think that they could just go for it again into the second match because they've already won the first game. They have the upper hand here. It's more so in their favor and in their hands as to how this goes. But it looks like we will be having a draft reset because, yeah, the side of Celsior now being on the blue side, not really going to take that long thinking about their first ban, I believe. So it's more than likely going to be a target ban, as you were questioning, it might be, or we'll see just general bans come out on roamers and laners, you know, the such of Grace, Lyra, Baron, and I suppose sometimes we see a few Vox bans come out. We might even see a Scarf ban would be a good way to shut down the side of Eanix.
Yep, I must agree with you that, you know, Scarf being banned out, and Scarf was almost a key player in that fight, or rather in the first match, even in previous matches that we've seen as well and casted for. So maybe they might want to consider banning out that Scarf as first in the first phase. And then, of course, the side of Eanix would probably ban out that Samuel, if not, then that Glaive or even Idris. Those are very strong picks at this point in time, so they can go for those bans as well. The side of Celsior, they are taking their own time. They are taking their own sweet time to ban out. They might be experiencing some problems or issues at this point in time, but, you know, even then, coming into this draft, okay, so coming into this draft, honestly, Trophies on that Scarf, he should be banned out. Probably that Scarf. If not, then if they want to prioritize on a ban, at least go for Angry Udai's Cruel as well. That is a very good ban for the side of Celsior, because if they do not have the Cruel to be in the front line, to be a distraction, then the side of Celsior may be able to just dive in carefreely and just go for that Trophies on that Scarf. Because honestly, if you think about it, it really was just Angry Udai in the front line, just being a big nuisance to the side of Celsior in the first match.
Okay, and here we are finally into it. Celsior going with that scarf ban that was one of our predictions, and no surprise to the fact that of how well it was played on the side of Eanix, and even yesterday and just throughout. I'm surprised we didn't see a scarf ban. However, in the previous matchup, it should just be knowing that Eanix play that scarf so well, and there's going to be the Lyra ban in response. Not wanting to give it over as a first pick to the side of Celsior. And Celsior are going to be fine with that, but going to go for the Vox pick, that which they did take last time. So now it leaves the side of Eanix open with a choice of if they pick up that Grace or if she's just going to be left untouched again.
Well, they might not pick up the Grace. They might be leaning towards that Lance as well. We've seen Eanix pulling up the Lance a few times now, both yesterday and their matches before. So I'm not surprised if the side of Eanix will pull up that Lance, because Lance for them, they are going to go for that Arden and ignoring the entirety existence of Grace. So they might have a comp in mind. They might want to run that Baron, which is a typical pickup if you are going to go for the Arden first pick. But let's just see. They do have a Catherine being banned out, so we might see a Baron coming up for the side of Eanix at this point in time. And the side of Celsior, they might want to consider this ban really carefully, because if they ban anything out, if they do ban out that Idris just because, just to counter, just so, Idris cannot counter the Vox, then Eanix might just run that Baron. If they do ban out that Baron, then Eanix can pick out that Idris. So honestly, till now, I do see, the draft is playing into the hands of Eanix.
Yeah, so far, I mean, the fact that they're being able to ban out a lot of those roamers, and they could always go for the proc build on Grace that would really force the side of Celsior into only picking from a small pool of roamers, which we saw being a strategy by one of the teams yesterday, where a lot of the roamers were either banned out or picked up, and one team even picking up, I believe it was a Lance and Catherine, and that really just trying to lock them out. So in this situation here, I'm not sure what to expect. You say it's going in favor of Eanix so far, but it looks like they're going to go for that Celeste, however, which we know a very similar play style to the Scarf is going to probably work out in the hands of Eanix.
Well, probably, but there is one thing I must say. They can actually pick out the Grays, but, before they were picking, I wanted to say that they might just go for the weapon Grays in lane. Had they watched the EU matchups, I think it was yesterday or the day before, when I cannot pronounce his name at all. I'm just going to butcher his name. Playing a weapon Grace in lane. So, SEA do pick up some meta from EU once in a while. Kavalafar. Yeah, there you go. Kavalafar. Right. There you go. But anyways, we do see a Baptiste, and then of course the Black Feather pickup on the side of Celsior. So the Baptiste will definitely be on the roam, on the Captain Baptiste, and then we have the weapon carry. We have the crystal carry on that Black Feather, just so to outpoke and probably just poke out that what is that called? A Celeste. But then again, at the end of the day, Celeste, when she hits 8, she can, she does outrange that of CP Black Feather, and we will see I Agree with I on that Lance once again.
Well, yeah, it looks like they're going for a lockdown comp. I'm surprised they didn't go for the Catherine instead for that situation. They were being able to have a lot more CC and just being able to focus on opening up a lot of chances for that Celeste on the back line. However, in this situation, they do need to be careful of the threats that are going to be able to jump onto there, like that Black Feather being able to jump back and try and pick off Celeste in this case. But luckily for them, they do have Arden, which might work out a bit better than that Catherine because of the Vanguard. But last time I said that, it wasn't utilized enough. They weren't able to save the backline. So I'm not sure what to expect now, but we do have the very strong man himself, Lance, being there to help throw anyone away with that big shield of his, and hopefully able to land the stuns up into the wall. So they do have a lot of CC provided for them still on the side of Eanix. And when you look over to the side of Celsior, I think what Celsior has is a very good engage comp and disengage because they have the fearsome shade and then the silence as well coming out from Vox. So I think they have a good kind of CC. It's different to the hard CC we see coming out from the side of Eanix in this case, but I'm still going to favor the side of Celsior for this one with engage comp being preferable.
Definitely, I must agree with you. Celsior just looks like they've got the much better comp, but we did see Iron die on that Lance yesterday. And you said Lance has got a big shield that can just Githian wall people into a wall. Amazing, Dennis, amazing. And then stun them. But I have to argue with you that Lance has got a bigger sword as compared to his shield. But that besides the point. We did see Iron die on that Lance yesterday. And he played very, very well on that line. So I'm not surprised though if the side of Eanix can actually pull this team comp off, especially with the amount of lockdowns they have, especially from core collapse. And I guess they've got a rather even and balanced out team comp as well, with both Lance and Arden being able to stand in the front lines and allowing that of Celeste to just poke and then wear down the enemies from the back line, similar to all the comps you've been running so far as well. So I must say Celsius build Celsius comp is definitely better. They've got the Baptiste to shut down the Arden, in which we saw in the game between Infamous and Impunity, when Baptiste constantly landed Ordain whenever Arden tries to throw the gauntlet down. So maybe if the side of Celsius can play Ordain, or rather can play Baptiste and land Ordains whenever Arden's going to drop the gauntlet, then they might have a good time. Whereas the side of Eanix, they just is so tanky. They've got so much shield and armor to cut through before you can even get to that Celeste, and their peeling ability as well coming out from Lance, from Arden, is just top of the line.
Yeah, and great point you brought up there, the fact that if Eanix are able to play this well, and is a similar role to having that Scarf being trophies on that Celeste, if they're able to play it with the success that they previously had, then no doubt I would give it to Eanix, but Celsior, by just going based off draft, I would give it to Celsior. So I'm still a bit split on this one, and it's hard to say, but thank you for going through the draft with me and to go through the match and bring in his own opinion on this one. We do have casting alongside me, Shurai. Oh my.
It's all right.
I don't know why, but I think it's because I have a way of, I think the first time I said your name, I said it like as Ashura or something, just being Japanese. So
it's all right.
I get a bit tongue twisted when pronouncing your name, but yes, we do have a Sarai with me today.
Yeah. Well, I would have to, I guess, disagree with Luxuria. Bigger doesn't always mean better, but in terms of the comps, I might just go for Eanix just because I feel like they have, even though, like you said, that there's a bit more advantage for Celsior here, I just feel like Eanix has been pretty on point with how they've been executing their comps, and I think that they'll have enough safety for trophies to work around with this Vanguard, with the Githian wall on this land, so we'll just have to see.
Yeah, and we see a bit of early game aggression from both teams here over near the mid tree, and Eanix 3 members actually in the jungle there trying to secure it.
And they're going to be fighting this Mana E Mana. Here we go. Last hit will be taken by Highest, and Destiny Stars just going to Sonic Zoom a little bit of damage against Eanix as they try to wrap around, go back into the lane. And yeah, just a little bit of tussle there in the jungle.
Yeah, and as we said, it's really going to be up to how well the side of Eanix are able to protect this Celeste on the backline. They were able to do a great job before when they had the Cruel Scarf and
here we go,
finishing off.
Githian wall, the damage, the body block from I Angry You Die. So, good start for Eanix.
Yeah, and if Eanix are able to make this work well in the early game, there's no reason why it's not going to go any worse for them moving into the late game. But I do worry about this Black Feather here, which we can see
Gonna get
now
the stun?
over onto Iron Udai and going to be able to pick up a return kill. Isn't going to get that first blood advantage in terms of gold, but it's still a kill and some farm over to them. And that's going to be a nice pickup, as well as that mid camp that they're able to. Actually, Highest was able to steal the first one over. So in this situation, now that Devil was able to pick this up, it means Celsior being able to take the first two of those mid treants.
Yeah, so that's going to be a lot of advantage for them. Truffles, good connection with that Vanguard just to keep this Celeste healthy. As we are seeing that Iangry Yadai will go for another rotation. Goes with a Gifted Wall. Highest is in a very bad spot. This Matisse has no mobility whatsoever. That's going to be a second kill here and now for Eanix. And they're looking for a second one. I Angry You Die. But not going to be enough. So there you have it. Just one kill for the meantime here for Eanix.
Yeah, and as I was saying before about the just being able to protect, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to even protect themselves in this situation, as Devil going to find I Angry You Die once again and then rotate into his jungle. So Devil really focusing down this Lance and just trying to take it all away from him. And it's what I said about if Eanix aren't able to have a smooth early game, it might be rough for them. But we'll have to see how it plays out here as Lance not able to impale over that wall.
Man, we're just seeing right now that Devil is, well, you know how the Devil is sneaky. That's just how he's playing. Whenever I Angry Die goes for a gank in the lane, he takes a substantial amount of damage, and of course, his skills go on some really high cooldowns here, and that'll just be Devil able to capitalize. That's how he's been getting all of these relatively easy kills onto the Lance, but now he's proving to look for more. Here comes Truffles. They're going to be going aggressive, but Devil just has that much mobility. Trophies level 4 right now. I'm really looking forward again to that level 8 Celeste when you get that Heliogenesis range up higher and higher. So should be able to just deal damage from behind, and like I said, go for the artillery type of strat.
Yeah, and looking at Iron You Die, you might think that he would have been better suited to play on a Black Feather if it wasn't picked up by the side of Celsior. And just because it's kind of a similar playstyle to that Cruel, to be up in the face of the enemy on that front line and building up stacks. So I think in this situation, a weapon power Black Feather could have done them well, whereas a Lance is kind of more there just for the CC. Yes, he's going to have a bit of burst damage with the initial impale, but it's really not the same play style, and this is where I worry about the side of Eanix going into Celsior, because if you don't have that distraction in the front line, it really gives the side of Celsior no reason to stick around there and to just bypass you and move on to the Celeste in this case.
And now, speaking of which, there's going to be a little bit of the distraction here, but it's not going to be enough. Getting in the wall will not actually connect to that wall, so no stun will happen onto Celsior. And the chase will be commenced onto Truffles, but he will be able to survive. Truffles was looking for the wraparound just for a little bit of that support. Level 5, not yet level 6, so no Solar Storm in his inventory or in his arsenal to work with. So Celsior will be going for the push.
Yeah, we can see right now a lot of poke damage coming out from the side of Celsior, and it won't be until Celeste gets that level 8 where she'll have that power spike on, having a bit more range and the safety of being able to stay under your turret a bit more, which is so crucial right now with the presence of Devil being around every corner on this Black Feather, who's really big right now, being at 3 kills to 0 already with that Shatter Glass. I think that one did go over to, yeah, it looks like Celsior able to steal some more farm, and if we look over at the farm now, right now Devil sitting at 34. Meanwhile, Angry Die slightly behind at 28, and then up at the lane, fairly even for now. Trophies has stayed in the lane for that most part, so staying at 69 over to the farm of 65, which is barely a difference for this Vox, who should be able to easily make that back, as he's actually clearing out the jungle with Devil at the moment.
Highest, though, almost got caught out. Trophies could not follow up with enough Heliogenesis and even a core collapse right there. So A little bit of a shame here for Eanix, but they are trying to turn the tides of battle for the meantime, looking to get the push in the lane. Although Celsior will say something else. Devil though, look at how sneaky beaky he is going to be going for this brush. Now, right now, Trophies is in a very bad spot, but what is it going to be? As Destiny Stars was very low on HP, Trophies a little bit more auto attacks. They're trying to push away Devil, and that's going to be the case. Clutch Vanguard coming in from Truffles. And there you have it, a double kill for the side here of Eanix, looking for the triple. Can they go for it? Yes, the last connects the Impale, and that's going to be an ace. Can Eanix transition into a turret? That's only for them to decide, but hallelujah, that was a clutch Vanguard.
Yes, I think Eanix very glad to be able to get that one around. And as I said, that's the power you can have with Iden on the team. If played well, you are able to save those targets. They're going to be, it's a bit of a negative of damage to dive comps like Devil right now, who's trying to find Trophies. And if Trophies is able to find that core collapse, they might win this fight.
That Rose offensive, there is the gauntlet. They're chasing him down. Fearsome Shade as well to connect. Iangry dies right here, but will he be able to line up a beautiful Impale? I guess that's not gonna be a no. Truffles was punished as well as Trophies. So that was a 2-for-0. And right now, Iangry die looking very aggressive with the combat roll, with the Impale, looking to start something here for Celsior. And, well, the wave is still far from the turret, so it seems that Eanix will be having their player or their roster back into the fight. Ooh, that's some mean damage right there. Core collapse. There's a solar storm. Oh my goodness! If it was something else, it might have been not a double kill, but it's Trophies. He got that solar storm. Beautiful.
Yeah, Trophy's there with an amazing core collapse as well. It's just a beautiful choke to play in with those kind of corners just being really tight and forcing the enemies into those kind of situations as they were trying to go for that initial turret, designed to back out, but Trophy's able to rotate up to the lane in time, and as you said, able to defend that turret, but even more so be able to pick up a double kill from it, which was just impressive. The timing on that solar storm, I think, might have even been before the fountain was used by Highest, and it's just, I think that it does show Eanix had the damage to be able to turn this one around, especially on that Celeste at the moment, which they're putting a lot of farm into right now. As you can see, a lot of the jungle farm actually going over to the Celeste, but having to now rotate back up to that turret. They were able to previously, from that ace, get a turret out of it, so they didn't completely lose out. Ooh. And we're going to have to see what they can do here.
Devil, his health is going uber so low. There's going to be a gift in the wall for my shut down with the solar storm. Pius has nowhere to go. There's the Colosseum of Death Warrior, and here you go. Now only one man left standing. Devil trying to run away. You better run, but he will be able to. Eanix, can they transition into a second turret? I guess that's gonna be a no, so they just go for the jungle camps.
Yeah, but Trophies right now with the snipes on those solar storms is just playing Celeste so well, and we talked about that. If Eanix can play this team comp well, then it will. It's no surprise that they will be able to win this one, because we saw how well they played with a similar team comp. I was just a bit worried for the sake of Iangry die on this Lance, but I think as he gets tankier and as he gets even stronger as well, being able to land a bit more burst damage, helping out Trophies get those low targets with the Solar Storm, you know, it just seems to be working out well for them, and it's good that they can flex off that previous draft that they were playing. Is good to see, because they'll need it more than likely if they make it through to the finals, because I'm sure if they do, we'll be seeing more Scarf bans and even possibly Celeste bans, but I would say Trophies is a much stronger Scarf than a Celeste, but they are making me question it right now, because 4-1 with 4 assists on Celeste and not a shred of defense. I really enjoy this kind of play when you're going on to one of those heroes such as your Baron, your Scarf, or your Celeste, and even with your Kestrel, where you just want that high damage output and having trust in your team to keep you safe.
Well, it is a 3v3, so teamwork is a must. I think the other thing here, why Eanix are so good, is that if you think about it, like the initiation for Celsior isn't as solid as you would see Eanix, or as how do you call this, simple to do in a way, because I agree that with the lance just initiates, and then Trophies will follow. Truffles will secondary use a gauntlet just like that, and they will just try to deal the damage as they also do to keep their opponents off of this Celeste. And with that in mind, they get themselves the Devil. They get the shutdown onto him, and look at how strong they are. Two big bruisers just charging in, no holds barred. This is just like a wrestling match, and they are gonna be the winners for this one. Will they get that Intercontinental title? Never mind, guys. That is just too much out of the question here, as it's just gonna be Destiny Stars to survive. But never mind. That's gonna be an ace, and here you go. Eanix able to exit out, but Devil right here. Does he want to go for the 3v1? That's the question. Will he be that aggressive, that offensive with the Rose? Will he use it? He's going for the poke, but not at the choke. So Trophies will be porting back into the base, and there you have it.
Yeah, and with that, you can still see that Devil has the damage available. It's just when jumping into those team fights, needs to be careful to not get locked down and just blown up by Trophies on the back line. And I think so far, Eanix, I've just got to congratulate them again, doing a great job to be 13 minutes in here and now have the lead from what looked like at the start a possible game over to the side of Celsior. Is now 12 kills to 6 and 31.5k gold over to the 27k on the side of Celsior.
Truffles? Okay, he was just trying to control the wave. I thought he got a little bit of connection issues right there, but no, don't think so. Kraken will be spawning in about a minute or so, so that could be the next point of power here, or point play for Eanix. Although they're looking pretty damn aggressive in the lane itself. Here comes I Agree to Die. There's going to be a follow-up with the Gauntlet. Just waiting for it, but wait, hold that thought. The Fearsome Shade, there's going to be just that. Trophies, second Fearsome Shade as well. And trying to run away, Rose offensive. This could be the turnaround here for Celsior. There's the Vanguard, Solar Storm as well. Destiny Stars gets it. A little bit of the bad timing for the Gauntlet. Trophy's trying to run away. Devil's right here. There's the Vanguard to keep him away for the meantime, but my goodness.
Yeah, you could really see when that team fight fell apart for the side of Eanix. It was actually I Angry Who Die on that lance, not able to land the Impale and just got caught in the middle of it, followed up with the wait for it coming out from Destiny Stars on that box, put them to silence, and then you have the Fearsome Shade just pushing them off, and the Echo coming out on highest to give them that second Fearsome Shade and provide the opportunity for Devil to dive in there with Destiny Stars onto that Celeste, who you've got to notice there's also a core collapse that almost caught Black Feather out, but I believe was blocked in that situation. So just well executed by the side of Celsior and able to pick up on the mistakes of Eanix. If they had let that slip, if they just let I Angry Who Die miss Van Pale and not punish him for it, I believe Eanix could position themselves for another fight very quickly and could have taken advantage of that, as they still have the safety of that turret. But now we see the teams looking a bit more even. The gold lead not as sparse. Right now we see Celsior actually at 33k and Eanix at 34.9. So it's a lot closer than before. And with 4 turrets each and Kraken now up on the fold, things are going to be very dangerous for both teams, and this next fight could determine the win.
So the fight in the Kraken dance has commenced. There is still that poke at the choke here for Eanix. Although we did see how Celsior were able to, I would say, surgically dissect Eanix's defense right there and create such a great opening that the Rose offensive from the Black Feather was so on point onto Trophies that he immediately got, what is it called, in terms of the HP, depleted. Now, I Angry Die in a pretty awkward situation. There's going to be the usage of the Gauntlet, Githian Wall away, but not connecting any of the stunts right there. Fearsome Shade into the sidelines. Trophies will be putting as much damage as he can. Second Fearsome Shade as well, but the heals onto I Angry Die is going. Devil almost connecting onto I Angry to Die here, but he will survive. For the meantime, there's going to be a Solar Storm for the ages. The 1-for-1 trade, Devil for Trophies, and Truffles here defending his own turret. Where is I Angry to Die? Will he go for the respawn? That's going to be the question. Yes, he is. He's slowly but surely ramping back up into the lane, slowing him down, goes in with the Vanguard. Highest gets a stun off. Will he connect the Impale? He wants to, misses it. That's not going to be good for Angry Die, but this is a Batiste. He doesn't have any mobility at all, but Truffles will be going for the response as well, and the chase is on Ordained to connect as well, and they are just trying to go left and right. Githian Wall will connect a stun, but the damage was already enough. And here is a second Solar Storm, but it's just a little bit too late.
Yeah, reactions by Celsior, they're great to actually step out of the way and not get hit by that. And I think just being able to turn that one around, Destiny Stars in that fight, actually picking up one of those middle tree ants, was able to get enough energy to turn around the fight. But you've really got to give up the highest on this Batiste, landing those Ordains onto I Angry You Die whenever they go for the Impale. And really, there's nothing I Angry You Die can do about that to stop it from happening, because he's already moving forwards towards it and just hits the wall, gets stunned out, and provides easy stacks for Destiny Stars on this weapon power box at the moment, who, if we look, is basically full build at this stage. 179 farm. A lot of the heroes are quite close to it, if not already. You can see Truffy's as the opposing laner there, just lacking out a bit on defense at the moment, only seeing on that reflex block. So right now, I would say Celsior have the advantage in this fight, and we've seen in the previous fights leading up to this, if they can focus down and break through the lines of Eanix, gain their way to trophies, then they should be able to win it out after that.
Yeah, that's the thing right now, but I Angry Die really has to step forward here. He has been missing so many of those Impales. Solar Storm just for the pushback. They're trying to break this Kraken as fast as possible, but the damage is not enough. Secondary Fearsome Shade to push away Eanix as they try to escort this Kraken to victory. Trophies into the front line. He's gonna get a little bit of support with that Vanguard, or rather with the Gauntlet, and that's gonna be a lot of zoning potential here. They're chasing him down, but at the same time, they have to respond to this Kraken. He is breaking, or she rather, is breaking down this turret. Can she get it? Oh, it's gonna be close. She doesn't. Wow, clutch from Eanix.
Yeah, and you can see the initial, I believe it was if we look at the timing here on the items, it could have been Box using his own Aegis to try block out the stun coming out from Truffy's on the Celeste for Core Collapse that came out, and then right after that, Truffless jumped in with the Gauntlet, and he really didn't have anything to block that one. Got stuck in that. Truffy's was able to turn around, and you can tell how much I'm struggling with these two names right now. Truffy's able to turn around and then be up to pick up the kill, put down the damage. And yeah, when the CC works out for Eanix and they're able to keep Truffy safe on that backline, it's just really something to be afraid of there. And as we said, you know, this Gauntlet is a very big opportunity for the side of Eanix, and if they're able to play around that. But really, you were right in saying I Angry You Die needs to step up his game with these Impales, and we see it now.
And step up indeed he has. There's a Fearsome Shade. Oh! From the Gauntlet actually connecting onto Devil right now. He was looking hard onto Trophies right there, and he wasn't able to. Does she have enough energy to actually plow down all of that Heliogenesis? And it goes Supernova. Gets the shutdown onto Devil, and Highest will follow through as well. Destiny Stars will remain. There's a wave already pushing, so this turret should go down. And my goodness, that was an insane Gauntlet.
Yeah, that Gauntlet actually catching out Devil and Destiny Stars right on the edge of it. And just as we said before that fight, the importance of the Gauntlet, but now we see Destiny Stars making their way up here. They have used that Resonance, but don't get caught out by any of the CC. Then Pale misses, so does the Core Collapse, and Eanix gonna try to continue to go for this Kraken anyway. No one actually able to take care of Destiny Stars, and it looks like his presence alone was enough to make them back off.
Yeah, with that Impale again missing for Angry You Die, they immediately said, "I'm gonna try to go aggressive into this one. I'm very low in HP, and we don't want to give them any form of advantage at all. Just even one kill can make or break it right now in this later stages of the game for Eanix. So they're playing this as, I would say, safe as possible. I mean, they could just go for the Kraken another day, and maybe this is the other day. They're gonna look to actually go for it. They have a lot of flares as well, so here we go.
Yeah, it looks like you can see the side of Celsior do have vision on the Kraken as well as just being there, able to see it themselves. And they're going to push Eanix off of this Kraken once again. They could even go for it themselves, trying to contest it with damage, but I think they're more so focused on the kills right now, and specifically getting to that backline on trophies is just so important for them. But we'll see whether they're able to do it now.
They gotta be careful. Devil is going aggressive, has the Rose of the Gauntlet. Devil, double fearsome shade once again from Highest. He has been so good with using this one, and maybe this isn't the opening for Celsior to stun onto the Arden. Oh, he cannot get away from that one. Trophies, he's trying to go 1v3. Man, this guy is going in ham. He's looking for it to try to keep this Kraken away from the hands of Celsior, and I think that's going to be a yes. Although, Truffles with 30 seconds left into the clock before he responds.
Yeah, and something interesting that I was wondering is the double tension bow pickup on Iangru Dai, and if it could be better itemized, because there really isn't too much armor on the side. Of course, you have the coated plates or the metal jacket on that box, but I might have to hold this for it, as it looks like Eanix will have to try their best here with only 2 of their members up to steal
It's
this Kraken.
gonna be close. There is a Solar Storm. Can he go for it? Trophies. It is 3, 2, 1. No! Batiste gets the last hit. Here comes Destiny Stars with the Vox, and this might be GG. Truffles is still at the base. He's gonna be roaming around, getting the Vanguard for his comrade, trying to at least mitigate as much forward momentum as Celsior has. Trophies. Oh, he cannot get into the main base. I don't think a port will let him escape, but I could be wrong here. There's gonna be the Gauntlet used. Is this gonna be the sacrificial lamb right now? The Arden for the Celeste, and I think that's a yes. But the Kraken is pushing, and here we go. As Davy Jones likes to say, release the Kraken into the base, and it is on. Trophies, can you go for it?
Well, 1v3, it will be tough. It's more like a 1v4 at this stage with the Kraken up, but Truffy's able to put down a lot of damage, almost catching out the Destiny Stars, but needs to be careful for Solar Storm just clipping, however.
Yes, he gets it. There's the Heliogenesis. Here comes Iangru, you die. Highest doesn't have the damage. He is the Captain Batiste, but here's the Kraken battering onto the Vayne. Oh my goodness, can Eanix actually stop this and break even? Can they go back? Can they get this into a 2-0? Or will it be, well, will it be Celsior making it into a 1-1, pushing it into a game 3? Let's find out. The damage from that Kraken. Oh my goodness, the Vayne almost. The word there, guys, you gotta remember, is almost breaking the Vayne.
Yeah, and amazing work by Truffy's on that Celeste there to hold the base. 11-3 to 6 right now, being the MVP for their team. You obviously have to give it up to the rest of the team of Eanix for getting that far in this game of what we thought, you know, could easily just be a Celsior match. And for actually both teams here just playing this one so well, as that Kraken could have easily gone over to Eanix previously if they committed to it when Vox had turned up. But now Vox is the sole defender of his base for just a second as they break down that anchor turret.
They have to have a lot of vision right now, because one wrong step or one good backdoor from Celsior, and it's gonna be over, playa. Here it is, get the wall just for the pushback. Another usage of the Arden's ultimate, but they're backing off. Oh, the fearsome shade puts their backs against the wall, and the chase is on. Can they deal the damage? The Heliogenesis from Truppies is dealing so much. Does he have the ultimate? Or collapse, 5 seconds. Does have the Heliogenesis. Destiny Stars hot on his tail. Oh, the stun connecting as well. The Batiste with the Arden. One more bad motion. There you go. 1-for-1 is the trade. Trophies and Truffles trying to back off into the base. They're below on HP, and they're trying to get this heal from the Trent, and they will. Still, that was a hot, action-packed, maybe last clash.
Yes, both these teams just going back and forth at it, and right now, of course, Celsior being in the advantage here with the side of Eanix having no turrets left, but a single team fight could change that at this stage. The death timers are long enough, and we know that Kraken is up. If Eanix are able to win this one out as they chase down the side of Celsior, they managed to land that gauntlet, however, Highest going to be up to block that one, and
Highest.
Destiny Stars trying to make
The
their
movement
way out
speed
of this
boost.
fight.
The Heliogenesis, 1. Fearsome Shade, not gonna be enough. 50 seconds left onto the Batiste, and it's a disaster. Oh no, Eanix, they have the opening right now. The Kraken is ripe for the taking, but they have to be careful because Destiny Stars, look where he is. He's in the lane, he's pushing the wave, and he might go for a backdoor, but at the same time, Eanix have to look for an opening to finish out this game because one wrong step, and they can actually still lose this one. Destiny Stars, though, found it out here. They're going for the slow. There's the sideline onto the Impale. Nice timing there from Destiny Stars to actually sidestep that one. But they're starting it right now. 20 seconds onto the Batiste. Truffles as well as Truffles trying to back him off. The zoning potential with this Celeste is just too much, just too immense. Destiny Stars has to back away. Devil does have that Rose offensive, but it's just too much. The zoning from the Heliogenesis will be enough. Or am I wrong? Oh, Devil. He's looking for it, but that's gonna be a no. And the Kraken finally taken by Eanix.
Yeah, and you can see some great vision coming out of Truffless here on that roam for the side of Eanix, and has put up a lot of vision along the top and into their base as well, into the entrance there. So they are ready for a possible backdoor and are going to be playing this one cautiously. You can see that the whole side of Celsior have grouped together in this lower jungle, whether they want to try catch out and go behind the side of Eanix in this team fight, or just walk right past them. They might go
Truffles.
for the base.
They might go for the base indeed. Truffles will get blown up here, but does have the Vanguard into the hands, embracing hands of this Lance, and he will survive. There is the Gauntlet. They have to be careful because that Kraken is pushing right now. Celsior on a time clock, a ticking time bomb, but at the same time, one wrong misstep here for Eanix could spell disaster for themselves. There's the Rose offensive, but Truffles, the positioning from this Celeste is godlike. Look at him just dropping down the Heliogenesis left and right. Turret has been destroyed. Where is that Kraken? Is breaking onto the base. The turrets have been exposed, and this could be it. Oh my goodness, Celsior, they tried, but they could not survive. And here we are with the ace. There's even a pause, but that was just enough, and this should be GGWP.
Yes, no doubt about it. A very hard-fought game for the side of Eanix. They're finally closing it out at almost 30 minutes in.
Oh my god.
Do it. And wow, that you are right when you say that Truffles on Miss Celeste is just godlike with their movements and positioning in that fight. If what they have done one wrong misplay there, really, Celsior could have taken it all. They had their base exposed, and just with a man advantage, I think Celsior could have turned that one around, but they weren't able to break through and find Truffles on the back line. So what a game. So close, so back and forth, but thank you for casting through with that with me. And to
Always a
go
pleasure.
into a bit more detail on that, I do have Luxura.
Well, hello. That game kept me on me seats. My eyes didn't leave the screen at all. I don't know. That game was just insane to watch. It was so back and forth in the late game after the 20th minute. It was just so back and forth. Sometimes Eanix had got the edge, and then another time you see Celsior just coming out on top with very good plays. There is one thing I request a duo. You did point out that Angry You Die did went for that double tension bow. That is 24% armor pairs. Although, I mean, probably just to go for the highest with that metal jacket, and of course Destiny Stars with that metal jacket as well. So I guess it's decent pickup, but you know, honestly, raw damage would probably come out on top at the end of the day. So, you know, and there is one more thing as well. Truffles on that Celeste, like Asura and you yourself said, he was just playing it godlike. It was so difficult to get into her, and we spoke about this pre-game. They have on the side of Celsior, they've got that Fox, they've got the Black Feather. They could have dived into Truffles and tried to take her out ASAP. Problem with that is that there is also an I Agree You Die on that lance. There is also Truffles on that Arden to just consider before you jumping in, and tons of very good gauntlet that was dropped from Truffles on this Arden. Oh, right. I think I got it from you. I requested all. I have a problem trying to get both of these names right. But anyways, Arden put up a very good play as well, especially in the last few minutes when all those very crucial gauntlets would drop just to separate the side of Celsior and of course trophies as well on that Celeste. What do you think?
Well,
I mean, Celsior had got a chance to come back. What do you think? Did they play into the win conditions of Eanix? Because it's quite apparent it's quite an even game at the end of the day.
Well, before I touch on that, I think is just, you know,